All right, here we go. All right, people. So here's the deal. I'm Gauthi. Good to see you, Kristen. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jane. We've got some wonky internet. Developing country. We're working on getting new equipment. If I could have a 5x5. Somebody tell me how I sound. More importantly, how I look. Not that the way I look, that you can see something. Because this video, I'm going to be showing you some photos. All right. How we doing? 05. No visual. No video. How about we pull this and let me go with regular bar. Hang on a second, you guys. I don't even know how to mute it. I'm going to restart this. It's just the way it's going to be. Give me just a second. Everybody stick around. I'm going to exit and come right back. So please stick around, all right? I'll be right back. Do I end the stream or just, no. All right. Nope, I just hit restart. All right, let's try it now. Now I have 2 bars. Can you guys see me? Tell me what's going on. All right, I think I got more bars. I think you guys can see me. Nice. All right, fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Hi, NTB. Good to see you. Chili Phil, thanks for being here. Dale Cox. Wow. Glad you're here. Do me a favor, everybody. This is going to be an interesting one. Captain Capsaicin, Jane Aldrich, Arla, Renee. Everybody hit the like, please. Looks like you're going to be able to see me. This is going to be a weird one. Tony's Hooter. Thanks for being here. Yeah, they. All right. How fantastic. Listen, we're getting new equipment. We're in a developing country. And what we have is we're just going to buy new equipment. Glad you guys are here, though. So what an interesting, this is going to be a fun video. Before I get into the video, and give me a 5x5. I know I've got a couple. I think it sounds like it's working all right. Hit the like. Let's pull the okie doke on the algorithm and see if we can get more people watching this. It's going to be a funny interview, a funny video. Jeremy Fowler. Very good to see you. There's Lisa Trimble with a 5x5. I'm blessed. Thank you, people. All right, so we're going to go a few minutes and let some people get in here before I get to the main topic of what we're going to talk about, because I got a very, very funny email today. Wait till you hear it. Before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about just the other day, it was Tommy's birthday. And you guys hear the story that I took a header? So we're in flip-flops. And one of the something that they told us to keep an eye out when we're in Salinas is that the sidewalks oftentimes are like this. So let me show you what happened. You guys want to see some pictures? It's funny. So it was Tommy's birthday and we were leaving. We were going to a steakhouse. There's my ankle. It doesn't look too bad. It gets better. There's my knee. And then I took a header. It was embarrassing. It was terrible. Here's another one. It even looks worse now. I actually got one on my hand as well. You guys ever? There's a funny little joke. If you can tell if you're old. Hi, Susie. Hi, Renee. It's better now. But I will tell you, Tommy said to me, man, tomorrow it's going to be like you've had a car accident. And he was right. Getting out of bed, it was tough. And the first day it was tough. The second day, it was even worse. However, I'm all good now. Heard ya. Thanks for being here. Please hit the like. I hope you guys are all doing well. It's a funny, this is an interesting, I got this, all this started with an email this morning. I woke up this morning, had an interesting one. I'm not going to put the email on because I'm going to keep some anonymity of the person who emailed it to me, but I'm going to read it to you because it's funny. You guys saw the thumbnail, right, people? Listen to this. You guys ready? Hi, Francisco. Lilac Lime. Thanks for being here, Amy. You got it. Thank you. Look at that. See what Captain Capsaicin did. You got a comment or throw some capital C's in there. If you got a question, throw some capital Q's in there, and it will get my attention. I will flag them, and then I'll come back to them. So if you have a question and I say, it doesn't appear like I've seen it, I'm gonna get to it. I promise you. All right. Galthy says, you saw I ate a pepper today. How about the habanero video? 5 out of 10. See that? You said your tolerance was low. I didn't think it was that low. Man, it is. When I told you I have a tolerance that's identical to Tommy's, I wasn't kidding. Tommy's ill right now. He's sick. Today we went out and we had listen, all isn't perfect. I had the worst steak. Like probably one of the worst steaks I've ever actually paid for. I might have had a worse steak at a cookout somewhere. Like I butchered it and didn't do it. I don't mean butchered it. I didn't do a good job cooking. But boy, oh boy, this was a terrible steak. When the waiter, Brock Bandy, I love you, dude. When the waiter came up to give us the bill, he kind of approached the table like, it was interesting. Hi, Katie. What are you doing? You hear that? It's Katie. You a good girl? And slow blink me. All right, let me read you this email I got. I'm not going to tell you who it's from. They may be here. So be on all my wrenches, be on point. You guys ready for this? You guys, did you see the thumbnail? Remember that commercial back in the day? Listen to this. Are you ready? It says, Johnny, I've been watching your channel for years. When all the talk about AI started, it got me thinking. By the way, there's some I'm not reading because it's inappropriate. So I kind of blacked that. Like I'm only reading the stuff that is suitable for prime time. All right. I watched a few clips from your balcony. Oops, I mean your studio. I saw at least 4 comments, and there's some punctuation and spelling mistakes. I'm not you know what? When people write me letters, all of a sudden I become like, look at that punctuation. They spelled that word wrong. I don't really care, but there's some spelling issues here. But I saw at least 4 comments saying that it was a green screen. It's a green screen. This is where it gets, if you're going to run a hustle, be good at it. Now, he included 2 pictures. I'm going to show you them in just a minute. Look at these 2 pictures that he included. Clearly, they're not the same person. All right, clearly, it's not the same person. Not even close. So who are you? Have you ever eaten a pepper? What's your end game? And then I got to skip a lot. Hi, Francisco. Skipped a lot. It doesn't matter. You ready? Hire better AI people. If you did, then more people would believe you're real. Now I want to show you the 2 pictures that he included, and they're of me. I'm glad you're here, Brock Bandy. You're going to understand why in just a minute. Please look at this. These are the 2 pictures that he says are different people. There's one. Okay. And here's 2. Clearly different people. All right. This guy here is different than this guy. And he said clearly, this person said, it's a man. He said clearly. Now, if there's any, Brownie, good to see you. No, there was not sarcasm. If there's stuff that I'm not reading, there's no sarcasm in this. Listen, if there's some like Brock, if you are in this stream and you have met me, given me a hug, maybe eaten something with me, spent time with me in different places, please put a 1 in the chat. It's probably only going to be Brock because I've seen Brock here. Gouthie, 1 is smiling. There you go, Carpenter. I am fake. Isn't that funny? So NTB, see me? Dean, Conjured Vapors. I've spent time with Dean. You betcha. Brock Bandy, I've spent time with Brock in several times. Now, I want to explain to you why, and I got there. Thank you, Lisa. Look at this. Here's a good one from, I don't care about the regulars. I just love hot peppers. I hear you. Lisa says, of course they look different. I'm older. Duh. Well, it isn't just the older thing. The thing that I thought was funny was if you look, I mean, one, I hadn't groomed my goatee in a really long time. Look, I mean, come on. Clearly, I hadn't groomed or trimmed the goatee. And then here, very trimmed. But I assure you, it's the same person. They said some other things in the chat, and there's some other things going on. I want to explain to you what that is. I sold the content. I sold it to a company that is training AI models. That's all. Okay. You're never going to see my face like there's never going to be a fake Johnny out there. You're never going to hear my voice. What they did was they combed the internet and YouTube, and they found a lot of, I'm not the only one. Seriously, there's a lot of YouTubers that are licensing their content. It's still my channel. Okay. Nothing's going to change. That I still own it. I didn't sell it. I've never used a green screen in my life, anything. And I think I don't look, the Netflix thing I was in and the Hulu thing, that wasn't just like, we all did that because it's, with fake people. I think people are misunderstanding the whole AI thing. And that's it. But seriously, to think, I thought for sure, someone said it was just kind of playing with you. They weren't really serious. I'm me. I've eaten peppers with people in the chat. For real. Jeremy says, I knew what this was going to be the second I saw the thumbnail. It's just the most bizarre thing in the world. I mean, it really is. It's just strange to me. Please understand something. There's never going to be an AI Johnny out there ever. Can I tell you something funny? When this company approached me, what this McDougal, good to see you. The first thing they said? They said, trust me, people have robbed you already. They said, you have so much content out there. You've been doing it for almost a decade. Trust and believe. Companies have snagged your stuff without, paying you. We'd like to use your stuff. But if we just want to do it legally, we'd like to pay you. I'm like, it sounded good to me, right? People are, Tommy, as real as the day is long. So, green screen. There's no green screen. It really isn't. Brock's been sending me some pictures. I haven't seen it. Oh, you just sent it now, Brock? I'll have to check it after. Some crazy things going on. For real. There really, really is. Where are we headed? It's kind of interesting. Dale Cox says, Johnny, I wish my friend didn't do what he done. Guess I'll find out how hot my 5-pepper cross is. You sure will. Email me do me a favor. I want to talk to you, Dale. chasetheheat@gmail.com. You can email me now, but I won't be able to react to it, respond to it after the video is over. But I'd like you to email me if you could. Lisa said, I look different. I look older. You know what? I actually think I look younger in the video now. I think I'm a little healthier. I probably lost some weight. Brownie says, been watching for years, Johnny. I'm not going to lie, you look happier in the second. Well, you know what? I've been sleeping better. Captain Capsaicin. I don't know what it's. You know, at first I thought it was tongue in cheek. It was just kind of someone playing with me. But a lot of the stuff they said was not tongue in cheek at all. You are truly a real person. You know what? How do you know? You've never met me, Renee. No, I'm just teasing. I am a real person, but we're just in a day and age where that's just kind of how people are. Kristen said, someone I used to mod for briefly told me I was like AI. I'm not sure if it was a compliment or not. Here's the thing. I think, and this is the truth, there were 3 or 4 comments where someone said, man, your backdrop looks like a green screen. Not one of the times that someone said that did I take it as a shot. Like they were giving me the business. You know what it sounded like to me? A compliment. Like, hey, it's, it's so cool. It's such a pretty thing. It looks like a green screen. I get that. I look and sound happier, says Chili Phil, and also Arwa. Well, thank you for saying that. I tell you what, I feel better. You know what? Look at this, Brock. You also lost weight from working out. I got to be honest with you. I'd like to say to you, you bet it is from work. All the time I haven't really worked out. What's happened is I'm eating better. I mean, much better. I'm eating healthy food. You know what I mean? But I will tell you today, I had the worst steak I've ever eaten in my life that I paid for. It's unbelievable. People love conspiracy theories. You know what's funny, Renee? I was talking to Tommy about it today. For years, people said, listen, they were talking to the, writing the government. I saw a UFO, and the government saying, nah, you didn't. Swamp gas or, weather balloon or whatever. The second the government comes out and says, we got UFOs, people are like, yeah, we don't believe you. We just don't. There's a lot of mistrust going around, and it's just kind of the way it is. Riley's human. Good to see you. Hi, Johnny. You look much healthier and relaxed. Congratulations. I'm trying. Look at that. Chris Smith, Peter. There's only one Johnny Scoville. There's actually a couple. There's a bunch. I think there's like 50. There's only one me. Look at that. There's one of my favorite dudes. Talked with him today. I hope you're doing good, Bizzle. I'm definitely a robot. I'm better than AI. He is. Absolutely is. Susie says, you and Tommy could pass for twins in the second pick. You know what? We probably could. We've been asked that a lot. It's a funny thing. We've only been recognized. If you ever watch like a cop show, they say like a suspect was made, it means they identify who you are. It's happened to us a couple of times. The first time it happened, it was actually in the hotel we were staying in. We'd been there for several days, and the one of the people there, wonderful guy, came up and he held up a picture. And it's a picture of Tommy and I. We were in the kitchen in our house in Reno. He's giving me a kiss on the cheek, a big brotherly hug. And the person that worked at the hotel walked up and showed it to me. And he was very, very kind. Now, a few other times, but it's a very strange feeling. Like every time I've been somewhere where someone has recognized me, like if I've been in a place like the Philippines, I didn't speak Tagalog, which is their language. So I was with a group of people. I said, hey, relax, Johnny. They know you. And this is what they said. Here, it's like, I'm learning. I'm trying. When I tell you that Tommy and I are really making the valiant effort at an hour a day, we didn't do it today yet. We haven't quite done it today yet. So we're trying to do an hour a day of studying Spanish. It's really funny. Look at Arwa says, you're a hologram. You know what Kristen Melinda said before this? Kristen said at the beginning of the video, I should glitch like there was some sort of a computer glitch. I thought that would be funny. But it's an interesting thing. Everything is very different here. And I'll tell you, I'm glad I'm here with Tommy, but we've had some very interesting things happen. We had an experience a couple of days ago. We went to a mall. I've talked about this in a few shorts, but I'm telling you people, I've been in some big malls. Mall of America. If anybody's ever been in Mall of America, it's like a city. This mall, we went into this mall. If I'm lying, I'm dying. It was this big, there ain't got nothing on Walmart's got nothing on this place. It was huge. As far as the food, it was so big. It's like a Home Depot. I'll tell you, you're a lot of things, Bizzle. You ain't boring, my bro. There's like a Bed Bath and Beyond in there. There was motorcycles. I'm not even fooling you. And if you get there and you're buying groceries or anything, and it's more than you counted on, there's a bank. You can finance it all. It was unbelievable. Now, here's where it got weird. First of all, we get into the store. We have certain things that we're looking for. We needed to buy. And the second we're in there, I'm like, like if you go to a store in America, you sort of have an idea. You can kind of look around and you can kind of get an idea where certain things are. And even if you don't know exactly what aisle it's in, you can kind of move in that direction. We needed a few things. I'm not going to get into the items that we needed, but I'm telling you, it was bizarre how we found them. We found them. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, well, there's that. And then 2 seconds later, and it wasn't even like logical. Things that you wouldn't think that would be near each other. We found everything we needed so fast. I mean, really, really quickly, we found everything. It was unbelievable because, look, they have translator app. I can say to somebody, I can speak it and hold up the app and the translation and let people see it. But I don't want to get around that way. And neither does Tommy. I don't want to learn enough Spanish that I can get around. You know what I mean? I want to learn enough Spanish where I can meet people and have like in-depth conversations and make a connection. ¿Dónde está el baño? I don't want to, you know what I mean? There's only so much you can do with, so we are trying really hard. Dizzy Dragon's been helping me. You know what? If you guys speak Spanish, if you want to leave a Spanish comment, I will try to, and I'm not just winging it. Como se dice? That's great. Can I tell you something? Tommy and I were so stoked to learn como se dice. It means, how do you say? You know why that's and we talked about this. You know why that's such a fantastic thing to say to somebody? Because they know that you're making the attempt to learn. Because you're not saying, hey, how do you say bathroom? You say, hey, como se dice? How do you say? So we're learning, and we are, but we want to learn more. So anyway, here's what happens. In America, right, if you go to a store, look at Dizzy, on the spot, it's going to be kind of hard. Quiero aprender español a punto de tener conversación. I didn't say that right. My pronunciation is terrible. I'm the gringo that's going to learn how to speak Spanish. Importante y existenciales sobre la vida.
The problem is they have a different word for everything.
Tommy says the problem is they got a different word for everything. They really do. So here's what happened. All right. So we get to the end, and there's no rhyme or reason. Like Tommy says, like there's the lines on the street when you drive. It's kind of like it is in the Philippines. The lines are there. They're more guidelines. You know what I mean? It's not really like, because you see cars just just don't go home with other paint on your car than your car. You know what I mean? So we're getting to the end of this, and we're like bottlenecking to get out, right? Now in America, you find it out, you look around, you're like, well, that one's slower, this one's quicker, let's go in this one. We're just like, look, this is closest to us, let's get in this aisle. So we get in this aisle and we're walking to the front. Now, when I tell you this place, you could get an airplane, you could taxi, get it up in the air, fly a little bit, land, and stop inside this building if it was tall enough. This building is so big, I mean, I don't know what it's got its own zip code. It's ridiculous. So we're at the end, but when I tell you it's this wide, the conveyor, there's no conveyor belt. You just stick stuff on the counter. There was a guy next to us buying 2 pallets of energy drinks. 2 pallets of energy drinks. I'm like, holy mackerel. So and as this is happening, a couple things are going on at once. I don't speak the language well. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I swear to God, I'm trying. And so is Tommy. We go out, like it's a Spanish day. We don't, like, when we try to talk to each other in Spanish. They say that at some point you can think in Spanish. Oh, I feel like I'm 10,000 years away from being able to think in Spanish. But we're at the end, right? And everything's going on. I feel like everything's moving really fast. And then there were a couple of women to the side of us. And I get that. I look over and they're taking pictures of us. Now here's the thing. I don't know if they know. Jeff, I'll take that. I'm going to answer that and just say, if you have a question or a comment, throw some capital C's or Q's in there. I promise you I'll read it. But anyway, so I don't know if they're like, hey, that's Johnny Scoville and that's his brother Tommy, or if they're saying, man, they're a foot taller than everybody and they look like twins and they're not here. They're gringos. That could very well be it, right? Well, in the hotel it wasn't, because he walked up and held up a picture of me and Tommy. So that, we got made that time. I'm not sure what was happening in this restaurant in the store, but I felt like these people made us on the side. As we're standing there, I'm not even joking. As we're standing there, this man walks up and stands behind Tom. I'm here and Tommy's behind me. When I tell you that you couldn't have slipped a credit card, I mean this way, not this way or this way, but you couldn't have slipped a credit card between Tommy and this guy. I'm not fooling. It was unbelievable how close this person. I said to Tommy, I've never, anytime in my life I've ever been that close to a man, I've either hugged him because he's a friend or I punched him because he was way too close to me. And this dude is staying so close to Tommy. And Tommy said, I have friends. I'm not looking for more. You're a little close. And he said in Spanish. I couldn't believe it. And the guy smiles at Tommy like he thinks it's funny. So I said in my phone, it's loud. There's people everywhere. So I said, my phone, you're staying too close. You need to back up now. And I showed it to him and he looked at it. He smiled at me like he thinks I'm playing. And I was not playing. And I promise you, Tommy wasn't. Then, so as we move, you understand the guy's this tall. I'm not knocking his height, but like Tommy's a big dude. He's bigger than I am. And this guy is brushing up against Tommy. And I promise you, like in our lives in the past, that's just a bad idea. It was not a good thing. And here I am in a country, I don't speak English. It's like, well, I don't speak their language. It was awful. And then it kind of dawned on us what was going on. This dude, he was buying a garden hose, rolled up garden hose. The guy in front of us was buying 1,000 feet of barbed wire that you kind of hang on property to make sure nobody comes in. I mean, I don't care what you need. It was in that store. Well, anyway, this guy, Tommy looks at me. He's like, he didn't even need to say anything. One of the great things about Tommy and I is he could look at me and he doesn't need to tell me what's going on. I know what he's going to say. I know that if you have a really close brother or sister or twin, then you'll understand. But I swear to you, we do more communicating without saying a word than people would probably even believe. But what was going on was this dude was trying to get he was trying to get us to pay for his, like that. It was just wrong people to do that with. Anyway, so it all kind of worked out, but we get out and like immediately, the second you leave the store, you're outside the building, I wouldn't say accosted. Yeah, I would. You're accosted. They jump you. They want to take your stuff. And it's like, I'm learning it. Like there's certain areas where the pace is just like putting low. What you see here is a guy who's relaxed, right? In that store, in that mall, I was not relaxed. It was not a fun afternoon. It really, really wasn't. Okay, so Bill's Place, thank you for being here. I was one of the green screen comments. I was complimenting. I knew you were. I was complimenting an unbelievable view. Did not think it was going to strike. It may not have been you. It may not have been you. I saw your comment and I knew if you got in early, you heard me say, I knew it was a compliment. I knew you were saying like, it's a pretty place, man. It's a green screen. Do you think I can send peppers to you? Dale Cox, I think you probably can. Now, here's the deal with that. I'm going to tell you, it's a 4-hour, we're only a 4-hour flight from Miami. All right. So it can be done. I've had peppers shipped to me from Germany when I lived in Tucson. And when I lived in Fort Mill, I had Aaron Giorno in Australia twice sent me peppers. So you absolutely can. We'll have to figure out how but it can be done. Capsaicin, 45 minutes away from the Mall of America. It's big, right? I was like this place. It's unbelievable. Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Please hit the like if you haven't. And if you've gotten this far and you've never hit the subscribe, can I tell you it actually matters? I really appreciate it if you would do that. Jeff Lund, Johnny, am I tripping? You look thinner and healthier since you moved. Yep, I've lost weight. I don't have a scale. I don't own a scale. And not because I'm here. I didn't own a scale when I was in America. I'm not a scale dude. You know what I do? If my clothes are too loose, I need to start eating more. If my clothes are too tight, I need to start moving more. And that's kind of how I do things. And right now we're moving a lot. We're eating very, very healthy food. Food dyes, food preservatives, and food additives are illegal here. So everything you eat is very, very healthy, except the steak we had today. Tommy is sick. And I'm telling you something, I didn't feel good for hours. It hurt him more than it hurt me, though. Renee, Have you looked into getting a tutor? I have not. You know what? I have not. It's not something I'm against doing. Maybe I should do that. I'm going to get to everybody's comments. Eagle Man, Pilot Guy, is the ghost pepper hotter than the Carolina Reaper? No, the Carolina Reaper is a significantly hotter pepper, for sure. Now, if you're looking, but here's the good news. If you're a real chili head, even if you're not, we're in a glorious day for chili heads because there are so many peppers hotter today than a Reaper. So there's tons. I'm trying to catch up. I'm way behind. I'm sorry. Bizzle, wow, I'm over 2 years. I'm going to cheat. Happy birthday, Johnny. Wow. Thank you, dude. Yeah, my birthday's tomorrow, people. Dizzy Dragon, 28. Soy miembro por 28 meses. Voy a meterme una maleta y enviarme a Salinas. Si sobrevivo, te daré un warthog. All I got out of there was warthog. Can I tell an environment? Can I tell you something? That's how I sound. So like I can say like I need a T-bone or and I have fries with that or whatever. And I just kind of the first 3 or 4 days I would just hold it up to the person. Now I read it to them, which helps a lot. But I am learning. Look at this, Arwa, and a wonderful more like 2 years. You're sweet. Happy birthday. Thank you guys for saying happy birthday. I appreciate that. Let me try to catch up. I'm way behind. I'm sorry about that. And I appreciate you guys being here. Now, Dizzy says you got to be very careful about cognates or thinking that a word in English means, yeah, it doesn't. I can tell you that right now. Yep, you can get in a lot of trouble. Already experienced that. M&J Metal, we've been here for what, a little over 2.5 weeks. I've seen somebody smoke a cigarette twice since I've been here. It's against the law to smoke cigarettes on the beach, and you can't drink there either. So it's a pretty healthy place. And I feel like I've lost weight. I mean, I know I've lost weight but I don't feel like I'm in a spot where I need to be eating more. I feel more healthy. And I'm sleeping better. If I open that right now, you wouldn't believe how loud it is. I'm trying to catch up. I'm way behind. Wes Lightburn, thanks for being here. Ross Woodland, I prefer the burn of the ghost pepper over the Reaper anyway. I usually get the false peaks with ghosts. I never get them with ghosts. Occasionally I'll get them with, I think I've got them with Reapers. I've had them with 7-pot Primos before. False peak, for anybody's wondering what that is, you're eating it. It's like, wow, it's really, really hot. It's getting better. Oh, no, it's not. That happens sometimes. It's a rare thing. It's happened to me a handful of times, and it really is fun. It happened to me with, I think it happened to me with, let's see, a few peppers from Troy Primo that were really, really fun. Bizzle, your Spanish is almost as good as mine. Here's my Spanish. Hey, it works. Exactly. See that? I'm not even going to say it, Kristen, but that does not mean embarrassed. There's a whole bunch of words like that. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. I don't know if vaping is allowed. You don't see anybody doing it. I'm not sure. But what they say is that the best thing is total immersion. Now, I was a missionary on and off in Russia for like 3 years, okay? Now, when I first started, they said, Greg Black, good to see you. They were going to send me to a language place called Berlitz. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Berlitz. Dan Lee Rebrap, thanks for being here. So and it's a total immersion class. It was only a 2-week class. They were supposed to teach me enough in 2 weeks that I can go to Russia and kind of get around. I was doubtful. So the first day we're sitting in there, and there's 2 men in this room with me, and I sit down, and I'm like, hi. Start talking, and they start talking to me. I mean, they're just talking to me in Russian. I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm here. You know, I'm here to learn Russian, but I don't know anything yet. So I don't know what you're saying. So let's start it with English with a few words, and we can kind of do this. And they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't break. That, you know, I lasted 1 day. I made them uncomfortable. They didn't want me to come back. Here it's, you know, there's a couple things we're doing. Number one, we found a couple great YouTube channels that one of them is just fluff. They tell you what you're going to learn Spanish in 10 minutes. Then we found one 4-hour class. So Tommy and I watched it, and that was every single part was educational. And I felt I got something out of it. So we're using that. We have the language. We have the translation app. We're watching movies. What we do is we watch movies that we've seen already. This is what Dizzy said. Oh, that's not what Dizzy said. False Peaks, Jigsaws, Warthogs, Reaper, Lemon, Weird Cross, and The Creeper. The Creeper is the one I couldn't think of. That was a weird one. And it pulsed. It was the strangest thing. So we're watching movies that we know. We'll get like Tommy Boy. All right. So we're watching Tommy Boy in English, but the captions are in Spanish. So we're trying. You know what I mean? We really are. We're trying. But you know what's really fantastic? I've learned this from being in Russia and other countries. When you make an effort to learn people a different language, number one, a few things happen. They're wickedly patient with you. They really are. And they love the fact that you're trying. No matter how bad you butcher it, they love the fact that you're trying. At least here, I live, like everybody on this strip, everybody's very kind. I bet if I went 4 streets over, they may try to get one over on me. You know what I mean? So, but we're learning. Now, we also bought these little ear things. It looks like an earpiece that you'd have for a phone. You just got to be talking to somebody, like earbuds. But if somebody speaks Spanish, like if I'm sitting here and they're talking, it's telling me in English what they're saying. I can't wait to have that because you know what happens. Bobby, thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. What happens is I know people are talking about me. And it could be just, hi, Silver Surfer. Hi, Michelle. It could just be me being paranoid, but I get the feeling every time we walk by somebody, someone's saying something about me. So I need every help, every bit of advantage I can get. But so far, everybody has been very, very kind. And that's important. You know what I mean? It makes it a lot easier. It's a lot on our plate. I mean, nothing like moving to a country we don't speak the language at almost 60. No pressure. Dizzy says, I had the most perfect little cartoonish primo pepper, and then it just dropped green from the plant. I'm so mad. It's a great pepper. It really is. So, yes, I went to the store. I bought two different kinds of peppers, and I would have bought more, but they didn't have a very good selection. No joke. I got some ají rojo, which is a red rojo, or red ají, I mean. Rojo is red. And then I got some red habaneros, and they were lovely. The habanero was significantly hotter than the ají was. And today I ate one, and it was a 5 on my scale of 1 to 10 for a habanero. Now, listen, if I was an AI dude, if I'm not really me, do you think I'd be doing that? I promise you I wouldn't. But it was fun. It burned, and I liked it. It was great. Hang on one second. I got some more comments I'm going to read. Lisa Trimble, sorry off topic, but what do Katy Perry and Squirrel think of the rooster you mentioned? So funny. Lisa, I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgotten. Bobby, thank you so much for that. Honest to goodness. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Lisa, listen to this. Are you ready? She heard it. Whoa. First of all, let me show you Katie because she's right here and she almost rolled off the table in this basket. Here's Katie. Hi, honey. You good? You taking that? No? All right, whatever. All right. Anyway, so here's the deal with Katie and Squirrel. I want to talk about Katie and Squirrel and a few things. Number one, the rooster. I noticed it the first day. Hey, chill out. I noticed the first day we were here, there's a rooster about 3 o'clock or 3:30. It starts crowing. Now, where I come from, America, right? Roosters don't do that. Roosters, when the sun comes up, right? Isn't that when they do it? When the sun comes up, they start making noise. You know, and a cat meows or a dog barks. No one gets mad at a rooster. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, and it's crowing. I'm like, the first day it happened, I'm like, what the? I'm like, is that really what I think I'm hearing? It doesn't do it until the sun comes up. It stops. It does it for like an hour, a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Like from 3:30 to about 4:30, it crows. And I don't mean like every 5 seconds, just once in a while. Then it just stops. I don't think the cats have even heard it. I really don't. But the cats are having fun. Let me tell you something. The reason the cats are having fun. LB, thank you for being here. Beautiful cat. Looks like my daughter's. She's a wonderful cat. Here's the problem with her. She's a Maine Coon cat. Get a Maine Coon cat, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Holy moly. Man, thank you so much, Bobby. That is so cool. Let me tell you something about the Maine Coon cat. She's 9 months old. Do you know how big a 9-month-old kitten is? Like a normal cat, a kitten? Kittens act stupid. I love cats. They're like drunk freshmen, but furry. That's what they are. They run into stuff. They attack stuff they shouldn't be attacking. A 9-month-old kitten is about this big. She's over 14 pounds. She's so big, but she has the mind of she runs into stuff and she'll attack stuff she shouldn't be attacking. She likes stretching on Tommy. She'll reach up and first of all, they don't sharpen their claws that way. They're stretching their fingers, and she does that on his knee. But one thing that's happening is that from that door to Tommy's room, I think it's like 30 or 35 of his strides. It's very long, and the cats can almost attain full speed. Now, Squirrel is a normal cat. She's a tortie. Her paws, I held her paws up, you see little toe beans. They're adorable. Italicize her. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. Gracias. Katie doesn't have normal. If you look at her feet, you can't see toe beans. They're stuck. Here, I'm going to show you. You know what? Cooperate with me, Katie, please. Just for a second. All right. All right. So here we go. Here's Katie. And I'm going to show you her paw. I can't. This isn't going to work. Big stretch. Here you go. Don't step on the computer. She's huge, and her feet. Look at the paws. They're covered with fur. Like her back feet. They're covered with, it's like she's running around with slippers on, with socks. So when Squirrel goes around a corner, she can corner like a rat with sneakers. She can corner. Katie drifts. And she has too much horsepower is the problem. She has bad judgment and too much horsepower. So Squirrel will fly down the hallway, and I have Katie's hair mouth. Katie will drift and hit the refrigerator. Then she'll straighten it out, and she'll get down the hallway, and comes time to turn, she'll hit the wall. So they make tons of noise. They're having fun every night and every morning throughout the night. She'll bring me the bird, Lisa, a really cool bird that Lisa Trimble sent, and it's really, really cute. She wakes me up, and she's proud that she's brought me a bird. But so the cats are having fun. Now, the other reason I want to bring up the cats is a lot of people are saying, Bobby, thank you for being here. Good night. Thank you so much for being here. I didn't see you were leaving. Where's Bobby? Bobby, you're a rock star. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you for getting a membership. I got some exciting stuff about memberships. Tommy and I will be doing a live stream. Not on his channel, on my channel for people to bus pass. So nice work there, Bobby. And that's coming up probably starting this week. Anyway, I have a lot of people that are asking about the cats. Okay. Oh no, Chili Phil. You know what? My other cat's around 12 years old and is depressed, and so our other cat passed away. I can't imagine that. I walk out of the room and she cries until I come back. That's got to be hard. I'm really sorry. Anyway, listen, I have a lot of people that are saying you want more videos of the cats. I got to be honest with you. I'm not, and I also have people saying, when are we going to get a tour of your apartment? You're not going to get a tour of my apartment. I'm sorry. And because of that, I have to be really careful about the videos. When I was in Tucson, because of the videos I took of the cats, if you were of the mind to, you could know exactly every single part of my house, take screen grabs, and I put too much of myself out there already. I'm sorry. Hi, Roberta. Thank you for being here. I know it sounds bad, but I got to protect myself a little bit. So there's not going to be a tour of our apartment. I've already given you the balcony. You know what I mean? I just got to protect myself. And I got to do that. So I'll take some videos of Katie in my room. Okay. And for those asking, I have a bunch of people that are asking, like, did the cats go outside? Listen, the first couple of days we were here, we opened the door. I was outside on the balcony, which is too high up. And squirrel came out, and she took 2 very, very quick steps. Not like, hey, I'm getting ready to jump, but scared me to death. So I quickly got between her squirrel and the balcony, the edge, because if she went over that, I can't even think about it. The cats are not going outside. That was it. I looked at Tommy. I'm like, well, that's it. Never, because I'd rather hop off it myself than to see one of my cats leap off the balcony because they think something cool is on the other side. It was horrible. Scared me to death. And Katie, she's like, I told you, she's like a drunk freshman with fur. I can't trust her out there. I can't. She has the worst judgment. I mean, she'll get it eventually, but right now she's just an irresponsible kitten with way too much horsepower is the problem. Dizzy right now is breeding a green warthog mutant. Seeds marked as warthog in a jigsaw patch. You got some good stuff there, Dizzy Dragon. Steven, you know what? You could always get green screens. I really can. Tom actually said it. We put one right there, and I could be anywhere. Here's it. I hope you guys understand. I'm not trying to be rude. Jane, you're sweet. Do what you need to. We understand. You know what? You understand. A lot of people don't. Thank you for understanding, but some people don't. Hi, Just Joan. It's so good to see you. Lisa, when your safety comes first. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I got news for you guys. 3 times now I've done videos. So you want to be a YouTuber. There are better ways to make an income. I can promise you that. I love what I do, but wow. So that's what you're going to get. There's going to be a lot. I'll get some cat videos in my room. My room is really, really cool. It opens up on the balcony, which is nice. We made the other day, maybe it's a week old, 4 or 5 days old, 5 days old. I took a tripod and I stuck it on the balcony with my iPhone. And I just recorded it for 5 hours and 40 minutes. And it's loud. And people are using it to fall asleep to. And people are saying, like, some people are saying it's really, really neat and it's helpful. Brock, I'm not going to put you on the spot, Brock, but Brock is sleeping well because of that. It's kind of cool. Dizzy, dude, it's not rude at all. You have no obligation to post nothing you don't want to. You say that. And listen, there's some people here that say that. You guys are wonderful. Here's what happens. Kristen says there are some unhinged folks out there on the interwebs. Boy, you got that right. Here's what it is. You know what it is? And I love you guys. Spicy Jen, good to see you. Here's the truth of it. Sire Gobbledygook. How far are you from Sparks? I used to live in the marina before I moved to Denver. I'm probably about 6,000, maybe 7,000 miles from Sparks. A bit away from Sparks. I assume you mean Sparks, Nevada. I used to live in Reno. Yeah, now I live in Ecuador. Just, Johnny, what's your credit card number and PIN? Listen, I say this with love. I love you guys. But can I tell you, this is the dilemma that I have as a content creator. Tommy has it. Because I've said, in the very, very first video I did, so you want to be a YouTuber? You know what I said? I said, what do you have to lose? If you have something and you feel like you want to do it, what do you have to lose? You put yourself out there. You can fail, right? Now, there's a lot more to lose than that. First year, I've made that video 3 times in the span of about 9 years. So you want to be a YouTuber. The second time I did it, it was a little bit different. Third time I did it, way different. Here's what happens. You come on. See, some people, listen, if you guys watch, you guys ever watch EWU? Big fan of EWU. Explore with us. You're never going to see the person who runs that channel. There's probably a ton of people behind it because they have body cam and there's a whole bunch of different EWU channels or different channels. But you're never going to see the content creator. It's just that you see videos. No one's going to email EWU and say, I wish you were dead and jump off your balcony. You don't know who he is. You don't know who they are. It doesn't matter, right? EWU is an amazing channel. I love Sandy Wendy. Good to see you. Tommy and I do things different. We have channels. Now, maybe we didn't, maybe it wasn't the greatest move in retrospect. Mistakes were made. But what happens is, me too, dude. Tommy and I watch a lot of EW. They're great channels. But you guys know what I mean, though? You do know what I mean. You know what the person behind EWU is. Could be a man, could be a woman, could be a family, could be like a college, nobody knows. when you do it the way we do it, you expose yourself. You put some of yourself out there, and what ends up happening is some people are very happy with what happens, but there are some people that's not enough. They want more, and when you don't give them more, it becomes a problem for them. I said this, Yeah, it's bad, Tracy. There are people that have said things about me that just aren't true. I mean, just absolutely are not true. I'm not going to defend them. I know what I am. I'm not. But there are people, it's like if, they can't stand next to the fire, they want to put the fire out. It's crazy. Diabetic Dan. Love your avatar. Hey, Johnny, just popped in to say hello. I've always liked spicy things, but never got into the chili head realm. Before watching you, I'm now growing a patch of death spirals. Listen, it was always in you, Dan. I'm glad your death spiral is a great pepper, by the way. Super hot and very, very cool visually. It's got striations on it. Very, very pretty pepper. Just Joan, you got to check out EWU. It stands for Explore With Us. If you just type in EWU, you'll get it. But it's a lot of true crime. It's mostly true crime and stuff like that. It's a fantastic channel. But I'll tell you something. If you're thinking, hey, I want to be a YouTube content creator, here's the thing. It's a bell you can't unring. Once you ring it, you run it, and that's it, man. Tough. It's tough. It'll change your life. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm nobody. Nobody knows me. I'm a nobody. And you can't imagine. I talked to Tommy about this. I can't imagine somebody like Brad Pitt. Imagine being Brad Pitt. Like if I go to a chili convention, every 5 feet, someone's going to stop and want a picture. And listen, I've never said no to a picture, signing something, stopping to say hello, to talk. Never have I ever said no to that. I want to preface this by telling you that. But when I go to a chili festival, if I have to walk across from one side of the event center to the other, it'll take me an hour. I'm not even playing. I'm not exaggerating. Hi, John. It'll take me an hour because there are, like when we went to Albuquerque, 20 or 30,000 people over 3 or 4 days. You can't imagine what it was like. Brad Pitt, when he walks outside, everywhere he goes, it's like me at a chili convention. I would jump off that balcony first. I couldn't live like that. It's bad enough like this. Like I recognized here. I'm on a part of the world I've never been. Just be careful because once you do that, once you put yourself out, that's it. And you got to have thick skin. Because hi, Kellyanne. Thank you for being here, Monk. Good to see you, Monk. Glad you're here. Lisa says, sad to say, but I can't pray for the trolls and unhinged haters yet. Maybe someday, maybe God will have to do it for me. You know what? I do. I'm a believer. Some people aren't. You know what's beautiful about this channel? We have people here that are Wiccan. We have people here that are into like North or can't think of it. You name it, they're here. Honestly, and no one ever badmouths me. If you're into vibrations or whatever you do, and people are pretty cool about that. No one dumps on anybody. I'm a believer. If you are, if you're not, that's all right. You do you. But I pray for the people. You may think I am a lunatic. I pray for those who hate me. I do. And I pray that God will do great things for them and they'll be happy. And if they're married, they'll grow closer as a couple, that their kids will prosper, that their jobs will do well. And I do that number one. I figure if great things happen to them, maybe they'd be a little less focused on trying to destroy somebody they've never met. You know what I mean? But also selfishly, I can't explain how this works, but selfishly, when I pray for someone who hates me, I feel better about it. When I'm done, I feel like there's a weight lifted from me. It's true. Steven, you are definitely not a nobody, bro. I enjoy watching your videos and lots of others as well. Maybe just an itch. Yeah, thank you for saying that. But it's weird. I'm not related to Wilbur. The last name is a stage name. I changed it because I didn't want people stalking me. That helped a lot. Really worked. Yeah, it worked for a few years. You know what I mean? But I'm not related to Wilbur. Let me tell you a quick story. I was in the Philippines, and this is back when I was a drinker. And this is a true story. I was with, I can't remember the name of the person I was with. If he sees this, he'll be so heartbroken because it was years and years ago. Wonderful guy though. But he says to me, "Do you like craft beer, like small craft breweries?" I went, "Yeah." So he said, "Well, I said, "Is there a brewery here?" He goes, "Yeah, there's a microbrewery real close." I said, "He goes, you want to go?" I said, "Sure." And we got in this car. We're driving to this place, and it was really interesting. It was a very, very narrow bar. It may have been only like 8 feet wide, but it probably went like 150 feet. So really narrow, like booths on this side, bar here, bar count, bar here, stools. It was just very, very small. So we walk in, swear it's a true story. 2 seconds after we walk in, it was almost like almost at a record skipping on the needle or needle on the record. Everything stopped, music stopped, and the bartender jumped up on top of the bar, and he had a microphone in his hand. And he said, "Everybody, Johnny Scoville from the United States is here. He's a pepperhead." And I was the person that I was with. I went, "Dude, why did you do that? I can't believe you did that." And he says, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You called and told him we were coming and like asked him to do that?" He goes, "Dude, I've never been here before. I swear to you." To go to it, that was such a mind bender for me because that was years ago. To go to around the world, walk into a place where I've never been and have somebody recognize you, I can't begin to tell you what that'll do for your noodle. There are some people that I think, here's the thing, I don't think we're supposed to be famous. I don't think anybody is. And I'm famous. I'm a big fish in a teeny, teeny pond. I'm not even a big fish. I'm a decent sized fish in a microscopic little pond. You know what I mean? And that's the truth of it. But I think, we're made to grow up and, to live in groups and tribes and small groups. And I don't think we're meant to be famous. You know what I mean? Everybody in my high school knew me. That was weird enough. I got to college. I went to a college with like 20,000 students. And within 6 months of being there, everybody knew I slept in a coffin. That probably has something to do with it. I joined a fraternity. Everybody knew me. And I'm not sure we're supposed to go through that. I'm not sure that's an emotion or an experience as human beings. It happens, but I'm not sure it's supposed to. And there are some people that can handle it and some people that can't. That's strange. Metric, so good to see. What translation apps do you use besides Google? I tell you, good question. I only use, I actually use 2. And it wouldn't be what you think. I use this translate app. The app itself, let me show you what the app looks like. Give me just one sec. Do you see that? I can't get it with it. That's the app. If I do it straight on, you won't be able to see it. But if I do it this way, that's what the app looks like. All right. That's what the translation app looks like. But you know what works almost as well? And it's bizarre. And by the way, Lisa, I love you and I'll be praying for you because I know you pray for me. And can I tell you something? I don't blame you. I know how you feel. I promise you. It took me a long, long time to get to the point where I could think something good about the people that would like to see me dead. Interesting thing. Here's the thing. You know what? In the past, I haven't always been a good dude. Okay. There have been times in my past where there were people that wanted to kill me. You know what I mean? For real. And hated me. But if you said, "Hey, this dude wants to kill," I'm like, "Oh yeah, let me tell you what happened." Here's what happened. It was about 2 years, whatever. Everybody who hated me and wanted me dead, they had a reason. And more than likely, it was a decent one. It is what it is. I'm being honest with you. But to have people that you've never met, and people that you have only been kind to, do a 180 and hate you, it's a very strange feeling. It really is. It's weird. And it's not for everybody. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Now, in addition to that app, Metric console, it works as good, maybe even better. I'm serious. It's a heart attack. Chat GPT. Holy mackerel. It's even better because I'll tell them where I am. Well, the dialect's different there. Here's what you're going to want to say. It isn't just, it's so different. I actually like it more. True story. And you can say, "Hey, say it in Russian." What do I say? It doesn't matter what language. It'll tell you in 2 seconds. So, and sometimes the reason I really like it a lot, I think it's quicker. In a lot of, very, very often, it's much faster. If I'm in the wrong spot, I'm standing here and someone's looking at me, I'm trying to figure out something and it doesn't work. start panicking. I'm like, okay, Chat GPT, it's right there. Chat GPT works really, really, really well for translations. But honestly, the total immersion thing, getting out there and doing it. I wrote a letter the other day. First letter I've written in Spanish in forever. One second. Spirit Prof. I see you, bro. I'm glad you're here. So listen, we at where we live, it's an apartment. You know, think of an apartment. Apartments go this way, it just goes this way, but it's an apartment. In the lobby of this apartment, there are 3 people that work there. I'm not gonna say their names because I don't want to, but they're wonderful. 2 women and a man, and they're just lovely people. They're so nice, and they've been helpful. You know what I mean? Very, very cool people though. But one of them looks like a buddy of mine that I've known for 30 years. I got it upstairs. I was like, man, I said, Tommy, you're not gonna believe this. And you guys have seen this guy. Remember this? Let me show you something real quick. I don't know if you guys remember him. It's my buddy Vince. One of the very first videos that I ever did on this, I was in his backyard that he called the beer garden. I ate a whole bunch of peppers. He thought I was going to have a heart attack, called 911. They almost took him to the hospital. It was crazy. Because a month prior, he actually had a heart attack. But I've been friends with this guy. His name is Vince. I love him like a brother. Like I put my hand in the fire for him. I have a few times, actually. We've gone through some stuff together. He's a great guy. And he is the spitting image of this dude downstairs. And they're so sweet and so kind. All these people are so nice. I went down today and I said in the app, I have a friend I've known for 30 years, looks just like you. And I said it to him because I said it to him. And he looked at me like I was speaking French instead of Spanish. So anyway, then I did it with Chat GPT and it worked better. And I showed him the picture of my friend. He went, because he looks exactly like him. But everybody here has been very, very friendly. And the fact that everybody's helpful, like when I went to Russia, I would try to speak their language and well, you know what? Come on, a lot of people watching are American. If somebody says to you they're from a different country and they're trying to learn something, you're nice. I know you are. You're kind to them. And you know what blows you away? That's the person from a different country trying to learn the language. That's how everybody is here. However, I think if I went 5 miles that way, I'm not sure what would happen. Blitz. You and Tommy look like twins. We do kind of. We've heard that for a long time. The poor guy, John says. But it's been a wonderful experience so far. But listen, it's a different thing. You think you moved. I'm not knocking anybody else's move. I've had some scary moves, but moving to a different country, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's the most surreal experience. And it really, really is. I'm happy I'm here. The people are kind. I haven't gone on the water yet. I said I was going to. I'm sorry I haven't. I'll get to it. Oh, you know what? Hang on one second. Everybody stay still. My battery's not plugged in. I need it to be. My laptop. There. Wow. Yeah. Is that charging or not? Hope it's charging. It's getting low, but gotta be charging. Anyway, it's just been a very surreal experience. I'm happy it's happening, but it's a mind bender, it really is. Kellyanne, how are the cats meowing in Spanish? No, but you know what? They're having more fun than we are. They are running back, chasing that. Like, there's a lot of places in this apartment that Squirrel can go that Katie cannot, and I'm thrilled for Squirrel because when Katie was little, Squirrel would muscle her around, because here's the thing: Katie wants to lick her all the time and just clean her fur and groom her, and Squirrel's like, I'm not having, I'm done. But now Katie is so big that she'll just sit on Squirrel, like pin her down, and like, I'm licking you for the next 10 minutes, and that's the way it's going to be. So poor Squirrel, Squirrel's got it tough, but there's a few places up high that she can get to that Katie can't, and that's a beautiful thing. All right, Metric says, sorry, I should have been more specific. I need an app that can listen to language via audio live in the moment. Yeah, no, that app doesn't. Well, yeah, not really. Like what? Watch. I'll show you. Sorry, I should have been more specific. I need an app that can listen to a language via audio live in the moment. Convo, does your app do that? Now, I don't know if this is going to be in Spanish, what you just said, Somebody dizzy. Tell me if this is this. Lo siento, debería ser más específico. Necesito una aplicación que pueda escuchar un idioma a través de audio en vivo el momento. ¿Tu aplicación hace eso? Now, I have no idea if what I just said was what you said, but it does do it live like that. Now, we also bought these earpieces. I said earlier, if you weren't in the chat, it's an earpiece. It looks like something you'd use with your cell phone, so I can hear people without having to pick this up. And it's sneaky. It's not for your phone. What it does is I'm sitting here and somebody at the table next to me says, those two bald guys, they got to be brothers. I can hear them next to me, and they'll say to me, they're speaking Spanish, but it's going to translate in English in real time. That's amazing. Now, here's the problem. They were mailed to our home in Tucson, so they're in the process of being shipped here, so we don't have them yet. Kind of a drag. It is what it is. But we're learning. You know, the total immersion thing is really helpful. Spirit Prof. Johnny, have you considered setting up a Discord server? I think it would be great for bus connections. Willing to bet the mods could help. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what a Discord server is. I've heard my son say it. His friends have Discord. I don't know what it is. And you can tell me what it is. And guess what? You'd be speaking Spanish. And I don't have like a tech. Anyway, I could ask ChatGPT what a Discord server is. I don't know, man. Listen, I've gotten really far with the skill set that I've got. Honestly, I cut my braided beard. I did. I have them in the other room, both of them, because I had it. It was that long at one point. I cut this off, and then I don't miss it, you guys. I feel so much better. I really do. I still have them. Yeah, John, Katy Perry is a rascal. You know what? Here's the thing. Katy, what are you doing? Come here, Katy. No. Here's the thing. Risey, good to see you. Maine Coon cats aren't fully grown until they're about 3.5 or 4. Females are fully grown about 3.5 years. Males aren't for about 4. So that thing is going to grow for another 3 years. And that her dad is 35 pounds. So pretty good for a white guy, but to a Spanish guy. So I want to see what Dale says, what Dizzy Dragon said about he may not be here anymore. Dizzy Dragon, how did I didn't see what you said. Could you understand what I said? Was it even close? Blitz. I am half Cuban. I don't speak Spanish. I grew up with my Cuban father. My dad that raised me was Italian. I was adopted at 4 months. I'm so glad you were. Here you go, Katie. Get that. You know what? It's hard picking up a new language. I think, you know what? When you're young, I think you don't think about it because you're young and it just sort of happens. You know what I mean? Sorry, Amy. Let's see, John says, you're a smart man. Spanish is only a matter of time. And she is huge. And thank you for saying that. But listen, I say that thing. I love Katie. She's a sweet. She's giving me the stink eye. What are you doing? Hey. She's just very, very big. And she's very big. I look more like Tommy now. Yeah, without the goatee, probably. Thank you for saying that, I guess. He's a handsome dude. If I don't know the word in Spanish, I can add to it at the end. Yeah. You know what, though? I am learning. Look at that. Dizzy says, yeah, pretty much what you wanted to translate. See, here's the thing. Even if I get fluent, I'll be the fluent gringo. Because you all right, Katie? I'm always going to have that gringo kind of, I'm never going to sound like it's, they're always going to know I'm the guy from America who learned to speak Spanish. I'm very much a less is more guy, but I think Discord would be great for your channel. Ash. Hey, you've been talking to me for a while. You know I'm a knucklehead. I need you to tell me what Discord is. You know what I do for work? Tell me if you think it's something that would be beneficial. Tell me why. Tell me how difficult it would be to set up. Hook me up. Chat GPT. And just like that, it's already done. Watch. It's really, really quick. Oops. Johnny, you got it, my man. I have a relationship with this thing. There it is. All the information about Discords in real time. Still thinking about it. See, it's already scaring me. Do you realize how long that is? You know what, though? It's important because connection is what it's all about. And if there's any way that would create more connection, it's a good thing, honestly. Jonathan says, hey, Kristen. Hey, Emery. I'm glad you're here, Jonathan. And all you, I'm glad you're here. Emery, too. Uh-oh. Blitz. I had a Maine Coon once, and he had a congenital. You know what? That's a problem. We already had our cats checked. Yeah. It's a thing with Maine Coons. They sometimes have heart conditions. Before we were able to come here, we had to take these cats to a vet in Scottsdale, Arizona, where they had a examination where they were USDA certified to travel. Now, I'll tell you something. That was the hardest part of the trip. It was just Tommy and I moving here. It's like going out to dinner. It wouldn't have been hard. Even going through Bogota, Colombia, it wouldn't have been that bad. But having the cats, God, I'm just stressing thinking about it. It was so, oh my God. It's terrible. I don't ever want to do it again. Daisy says, you can learn to speak without an accent. It's sort of changing the letter O and U to be sharper. Fireworks right now. There are fireworks happening. Katie, bummed out? Katie does not like fireworks. Look. All right, honey. She's not digging. If you look, can you guys see it behind me? No, I can see it through the shade. There's fireworks going on now. They've been doing it a lot this week, and neither of the cats, Squirrel doesn't like it. Katie really doesn't like it. It's okay, honey. It's all right. It's okay. Yeah, it's a good girl. She's a sweet cat. I will look into it, Spirit Prof. Seriously. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being here. Anybody have any questions before I split? Tom, we'll be back tomorrow. Tommy will be on. He was sick today. Hopefully, he feels better tomorrow. Our Amy, our real estate agent, is in the States still. I thought she was going to be back already. She's still in the States. When she gets this following weekend, will be the first weekend that Tommy and I are meeting at the recovery center. Hi, Miso Smokes. Good to see you. We're going to be telling them how we got off drugs and what we can do to help them. And so I'm really excited about that. So, yep, if you have any last questions, we'll stick around for a few more minutes. If you have any last questions, please feel free to ask me. There, P's or Q's. The steak was horrible, Kellyanne. I don't know. It was the worst steak I ever had. I will be on tomorrow, Captain Capsaicin. I hope Tommy will be. Hopefully. John says, the best 30 chocolate pre-mentality challenge. Wow, nothing like it. That was horrible. That hurt so much. Can I tell you something? Today, a red habanero was a 5 on my scale of 1 to 10. You have any idea what would be? I couldn't. 30. I look back at some of the stuff I've done. I was like, because my tolerance now is just down. P. Hendricks. How much good could a good Johnny do if a good Johnny could do good? It's a good question. I want to do good. I want to make a difference. I don't want to just go through life. I don't just want to go through life. I want to help people. We had no intention of doing this. You know that? Thank you, Bizzle. See, I don't know what you're saying. Or Dizzy, I mean. You know what? Here, watch this. Ese bistec tenía la textura de una llanta cagalada y quemada en un volcán. The steak had the texture of a calculated tire burned in a volcano. See, I didn't say it right. I know that's not what you said. Tell me what you said before I get off, before we end this. That's hilarious. Yeah, my pronunciation is not so good. I'll be honest, it isn't. I can't imagine that blitz. That would be heartbreaking. Thank you, Captain Capsaicin. And Lisa Trimble, you're loved. Prayers to anybody who needs them. I need them. You guys want to pray? I need them. Tommy needs them. Mean it. For real. Stuff's going on. I'd love it. Don't even know how to pronounce what Dizzy says. Neither do I. I'm waiting for Dizzy to tell me what he actually said, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up. There's something I was going to tell you all. I don't remember. It's happening a lot less now. You know that? I used to forget. I used to squirrel off and forget my train of thought. Do you guys remember? Every 5 minutes I was doing that. I don't do that anymore. I think it's because I'm sleeping better and eating better. Katie, blink twice if you're held hostage. That's hilarious. It is a great old joke. Never gets old. Captain Capsaicin, have a good night. You're in my prayers. I appreciate that. You know another thing you can do, really make me happy? You want to get a better night's sleep tonight? Okay, so I wasn't that far off. The steak had the texture of a frozen and burnt tire on a volcano. Okay, I was. What did I say? I said the steak had the texture of I said calculated tire burned in a volcano. So somewhere frozen and calculated is where I got messed up, right? That's probably where it happened. Anyway, I have a video. You can sleep with me tonight, sort of. You can, if you want to sleep to the sounds of the ocean. There it is, right here. If you want to go to bed and listen to what I sleep to, please click on that. I will tell you this: it's loud. It's between 70 and 95 decibels, I'm told. Thank you, Dale. Do me a favor, dude. Shoot me an email if you can. You know what, Blitz? We've not had any Ecuadorian chocolate yet at all, but I'll get on it. You guys are wonderful. Thank you all for being here. I mean it. I appreciate you guys a lot. Tell somebody you love them. We'll be Sunday the Beast. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, dude. That's a savage right there. Adiosito. Buenas noches. Hi, Marcy Schwartz. Hey, thank you. I appreciate the prayers more than you have any idea. Son of the Beast, you missed my face. We'll meet again, dude. Maybe you want to come to Ecuador sometime. Tell someone you love them, be kind, and click the link on my page if you want to go to bed and listen to the ocean. It's beautiful. Buenas noches. You guys are all great. I love you. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Katy Perry.